Hey, this is Jay with Manly Moving. Welcome to our YouTube channel. You know the drill. Hit the subscribe and like button. Help us support us here on YouTube, as well as look us up on Instagram, Facebook. Check us out on our all social media accounts, or visit our website on manlymoving.com to help us help you on your next move. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to talk about the top 5 times that you need to hire movers, and this is all from professional moving experience. I've talked to the boss, like the boss of Manly Moving. I've talked to a lot of movers that have more experience than I do. I've kind of researched my own history. This is where I feel like there really isn't a question of if you need movers or not. It's about when they can arrive and how soon it can be done and what's a realistic timeline in that regard. Because, in all honesty, there are some times where you simply cannot do it yourself. DIY is great for, if you're moving yourself out of a house, from A to B, that can be done. Obviously, that's what U-Haul's for. That's what a dolly's for, Frank. Whatever you want to use, you can do it by yourself. There's a lot of things we can do by ourselves, but sometimes it's a lot smarter, cheaper, and simply better to hire professional moving. So let's jump into the first one. Pianos have been a big part of my life the past few years, and that's been a good and a bad thing. I've made a lot of mistakes personally. I've witnessed a lot of mistakes. I've also been around where we have done a really good job, and that plays a huge factor because we are a professional moving company, and pianos are always a factor. I would say, especially with the larger ones, we're talking like upright baby grands, normal baby grands, grand pianos, these really heavy pianos. The insurance is going to be the most important thing that you need to think about here. If you're trying to move a baby grand piano by yourself, you and a couple buddies, you feed them pizza, that whole deal, and you need to get that grand piano into the truck. You're probably going to dent a wall. You're probably going to damage something, whether it's the piano, which heaven forbid, no, or it's the house that you're in, or whatever the situation is. You're going to run into some issues. And I highly suggest hiring a moving company that is licensed and insured to be sure that they do that piano right, that they take care of the piano. I'm a little tongue tied. That they take care of the piano and do the job right. A big issue with pianos is going up or down the stairs. Usually, I try to avoid this if possible, but if it's like a full flight of stairs and you have to carry a grand piano up or down those stairs, that's difficult. I mean, there was one time where we had to take a baby grand piano down the stairs, and then there was a turn at it was down like half a flight of stairs, and then there's the platform. Then you got to turn the whole 180 and then go down the other side. Impossible to do with the circumstances that we had. And I mean, I basically had to deadlift that thing by myself. Like I had to just power squat that. And that was not a fun situation to be in. We got it done. Luckily, nothing was damaged with it, but we ended up finding another way to get down to the basement. So that was really good situation there, as far as that's concerned. But the big thing with pianos is the liability of it, and to be sure that it is taken care of correctly, because sometimes it's not the wisest idea to call your buddies and to get that taken care of. That's going to be a common theme here, but let's get to the next one. All right, we're sticking with the heavy stuff. We're going with gun safes, pool tables, anything that's really heavy, not necessarily fragile, but I would say, well, it's depending on what kind of pool table you got, but you know, anything really heavy. I usually have more experience with gun safes personally. I know a lot of movers, they deal with pool tables a lot more. Just kind of depends, but we'll stick with gun safes for simplicity here. Gun safes, if it's over about 600 pounds, I honestly would just suggest hiring professional movers. What we do as Manly Movings, we'll do like a 2-hour minimum, just to be sure that we have enough time to do the job right, to blanket it and wrap it, to get all the equipment ready, to make sure that we cover the stairs correctly, all those things. If we have 2-hour minimum, we'll give you a flat price. We'll take care of it. You won't have to worry about it. And again, just like with pianos, being licensed and insured is a really big deal. I literally just talked to a client not 3 days ago, and we're going to help them move tomorrow. He got a gun safe that's over 800 pounds down into his basement with him and his buddies. And actually, I don't know if it was him and his buddies. It might have been a company, but I'll have to ask him that. But he said that they slipped halfway down the stairs and it went straight through the wall, just like destroyed the studs, the drywall, everything. And plumbing, I think, was behind there. So just not a good situation. And he had to deal with that. He had to fix that. And it all came out of his pocket. But if a company, a good moving company, right, which I can talk about that in a different video, of be sure to hire a good moving company. But, if you hire Manly Moving, even if we mess up, even if something bad happens, we will be there to take care of it. And in reverse, we'll most likely do it right. And we will take care of it and nothing will be damaged. And you will be at peace of mind because we are licensed, we are insured, we have the right equipment, we have good equipment, and we have good movers that are strong and healthy and ready to go. Anyway, so that's number 2. Let's see what number 3 is. Definitely my least favorite topic in this video. And that's going up and down stairs. Stairs are never fun. They are never a mover's highlight of his day. Just never. But they have to get done. It has to get done. And we are happy to do it because that's what we're here for. I cannot tell you how many times we get called for not even very many items, not even very much stuff, but we get called to take care of, like, hey, can you unload my moving truck to the 3rd or 4th floor apartment? And it has to be done before Saturday. And it's like, well, okay, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can fit you in for. And usually they're not very big jobs, but they're big jobs because you got to go up and down the stairs. And it seems like these newer build complexes, there's not as much elevators anymore, right? They build them so quickly that they just throw it together and they move on to the next apartment complex, but there's no elevators, right? So, you got elderly women is people that cannot go up and down the stairs with moving boxes, right? With heavy items, couches, stuff like that. That's just not reasonable to ask you as a client to do. So we're happy to do it. Again, like the theme of the video of the other 2 topics, licensed and insured. If something gets damaged, we are there to take that hit. But at the same time, we have, at least with Manly Moving, I don't know about other moving companies, but we have young, strong, and hungry guys that are ready to work and willing to work and are happy to be there to help you, even though going up and down stairs isn't very fun. But I can't tell you how many times that I've been in that situation where it's just, I moved a couple to San Jose a while ago, and they lived on a 3rd or 4th floor apartment. I can't remember how much, but I had to park in the parking lot that was really far away. And it took me all day. I had to do it by myself because that was the situation with that job, but I had to do it all by myself. And luckily they were really nice to help me, but back and forth, up and down all those stairs, it's a lot. So don't do it by yourself. Let the professionals worry about it. Let us break our backs. Please, we want to. That is why we are here. Anyway, pianos, gun safe stairs. Let's see what number 4 is. Kind of sticking to the same theme here, but number 4, if your items cannot fit in one truck, whatever that looks like. If you're in a 1-bed, 1-bath, you only need a 15-foot truck, maybe a 10-foot truck. If all of your items aren't going to fit in that truck, then you'll have to get a bigger truck, and there's more to worry about, and vice versa. But what I'm really niching down here is if you are if you have a 3-bed, 2-bath home and you have X amount of stuff, you're in this situation, you're trying to move, if you cannot fit all of your items, all of your house into one moving truck, which doesn't happen as often as you'd think, I would suggest hiring movers. Movers have all of the ability and time and energy, frankly, to get that taken care of. And even if you let us do half of it, that's half of that weight that you don't have to worry about anymore, right? If you just want movers to take care of which this happens all the time, oh my goodness. If you just want the movers to take care of the big stuff, right? So if we're just taking care of the beds, the bed frames, the furniture, the tables, the chairs, the things that are just awkward and larger, just like, hey, Manly Moving, go take care of it. We'll pay you X amount, whatever that job is, right? Just take care of it. I'll worry about all the boxes. I'll worry about the packing and all the little stuff. But you just take care of that because I don't have time for that right now. That's when you need to get movers, because for one, you're probably working, right? You have a family, you're working, you're in retirement, you're trying to take care of other things. You got to worry about you. You can't take care of all the little details and niches and all the effort that it takes to move everything from A to B if it's more than one trip, right? So that's what I'm going to title it. It's going to be if you have to take more than one trip. There it is. Usually this would apply if you're moving locally, if you're moving with somebody else, right? Um, but if you have to take more than one trip, definitely get some movers help. Definitely just squish that time in a lot because it's going to save you time. It's going to save you effort. Probably will save you money. Sometimes not. But again, the licensing, the insurance, it is worth it if you don't have to worry about damages or anything else in that realm of concern. So anyway, that's number 4. Let's see what number 5 is, and then we'll get to the end of the video. Okay, so the 5th and I would argue most important one. Obviously these are all important and there's no real order to this, but if you're moving long distance, if you're going over, I would argue even 100 miles, right? If you're going over 100 miles from A to B, I would highly suggest hiring movers. Again, like we've said 300 times already, licensing and insurance, that's a big thing here. If something gets damaged or if something gets broken, you better not blame your brother-in-law, right? Because that could cause a whole family turmoil. But if the movers did it, there's a process, there's a way to resolve things, etc. Long distance is interesting because there is a niche market for that, right? So you could hire semi trucks, right? And they can go from A to B, they can get you taken care of. The only downside to that, and I will go into detail with this in a video in the future, but the only downside to hiring the long haulers is they're not there for everything, right? Most of them are not. I would suggest, like Manly Moving, what we do is we're there from start to finish. So if you're moving from Idaho to Texas, or if you're moving from Utah to California, whatever your situation is, you need to get movers that are going from A to B. They're there from the start to the finish, and they're going to take care of you every step of the way. This is a big deal because if something goes wrong, there's not 7 other different companies down the line that you have to go through to figure out who's liable, for one, and for two, who do you give the credit to if a job is done right? If it's just through one company, a good company, right? Again, I'll make that in a different video. We're just getting started here on YouTube, so bear with me. But if the company does it right, then who do you give that credit to, right? And vice versa if they don't do it right. Going long distance is stressful enough. I remember growing up as a kid, we moved from Arizona to Montana. We moved all these different states, and it's never fun. It's never easy. It's never simple. I would argue that with moving across state lines, and again, I would consider 100 miles long distance, depending on your situation and the amount of items that you have. I've done moves that are less than 50 miles apart, but we have to do so many different trips, even with big moving trucks. Yeah, it's a long distance move, right? In the long term, but especially if you're going long distance, right? If you have to move cross country, I would highly recommend that you look into getting movers, putting that in your budget to make sure that everything's done right and well, so it takes that pressure off of you. So anyway, that's number 5, going long distance. That's when you need to get movers, and that's going to help you succeed on your move and save money in the long run. And to be sure your items are safe, just be sure that your stuff is safe, because that's the point of moving, right? Is to move everything from A to B safely. Hey, thanks so much for watching our video. This is Manly Moving. My name is Jay. We are really excited to be here on YouTube, and as you can tell, I'm we're getting there. Okay, we're getting there one step at a time. It's the grind, and we're happy to do it. We're happy to go through it. So, like I said, we're on YouTube. Give us a like and subscribe. Look us up on Facebook, on Instagram. Check out our website, manlymoving.com. I'll put it in the description. Just check us out. We're happy to help you. Give us a call. We are in Idaho, so we're in southeast Idaho, and then we are also in southern Utah. Those are our local locations, but we do long distance moving nationwide. So if you need any help, we're happy to help you. give us a call. We'll be more than happy to give you advice or help or whatever you need. So, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.